maitira kwayo kukula izenzo zako ozoko. Ngatitore edu masitsi edu tikare pasi. Regai nditi nasi uno is our day. Say MTC in 2023. Patiri kuita election inonzi muchirungu general election. Chisa mama chisa. Chinja. Maitira kwayo. Ozoko. Regai titore mkana uno ndiku kwa seimose vana ve Harare. Let it be known that these are selected members. Zavamu Harare chete selected due to the reason ekuti our venue is small. Chinja maitira kwayo ozoko yaita small nei taifanira kunge takaitira kunze uko nezuro. But of course there are processes dzekuti kana tichida kubhuka mahall munotanga mapuhwa tsamba kubva kuma responsible authorities. Saka tsamba yedu inouya a day before the program. Saka tsamba yedu yekuti tiitire kuho yakauya musi Saturday. Then Saturday ndokuchitanga ura unotsvaga hall kuti tinobhuka hall. Ndobva all the halls were fully booked. Reason being yanga iri musi Sunday vanhu vainamata ikoko. Chinja maitira kwayo ozoko. Tikati Mwari kudzwai kana vanhu vari kunamata mumwena muzokwadi Mwari kudzwai. Vari kutonamatira nyika yeMTC, nyika yeZimbabwe ine vana veMTC kuti tikunde paelection yatakatarisana nayo. Saka takazoti atichatoregeri sezvo tatatoronga. Regai tichitoita the following day inova Monday. Asi tochidini ndobva tataura neleadership tanga tichiitira pamudhuri wani wedu. Ndosaka muchiona taitira first floor paMRT house. Chinja maitira kwayo ozoko. Ndati muzvizive izvozvo. Kune dzimwe shasha dzino mbiri yekunyepa. Nhasi unoyu tisati tatotanga pana vanhu vanga kutoposta isiri kuti vanhu vapinde mukati asi vakutodii tava kuchitotanga izvozvi zvakakuda kuposta chipostani. Chisamba machisa chinja maitira kwayo ozoko. Nai Mwari we vanhu ava ndovaita sei? Vanhu ava ndovaita sei? Zvakanaka hazvo Mwari ngatinzwire urombo. Chinja maitira kwayo ozoko. Asi this is the truth zvandakuudzai. Mofamba neiro. Kunze tichabuda kana tapedza kulonja. Munonzvisa? Amen. Ozoko. Nekuti hatingabudi kana tisati talonja. Tinobuda tichitaura kuti kudii? Chinja maitira kwayo. Vachija oye. Dagi dagi. Kwese kwese. Dagi dagi. Tese tese. Pachindero rati yongi ndavo. Dagi dagi. Yongi ndavo. Dagi dagi. Yongi ndavo. Ozoko. Tindere. Ozoko. Machinjane rudo. Machinja eze anerudo. Corona we. Corona we. Chisa baba chisa. Chinja. Waitira kwayo. Osoko. Pana ndakabata program. Ili kututaza uchafamba na mtu okopi. Program yedu changoita spell out. Arrival of guests is also 8 pesos. Invited guests taking seats is also 8 pesos. Welcome remarks. Do patada of tishike. Presentation of the manifesto tichaita. Presidential speech or president's speech to ita closing remarks. That is the program for today. That is Ziza. Chisa mama chisa. Chisa. Kukula. Izenzo. Izenzo zako. Kukula. Osoko. Tamirira. Tuakuru. Washike. Asi inini sa organizer wenyu. Nema change satakaita. I'm happy. Nekuti mauya. Kuti muzinzwire momene. Kuti MTC chafamba say. From now going to the 2023 elections. So 23 August. The candidates Baba Matimba muye pano. Munongo sumuka mbichana. Baba Matimba wachikulidai mukuimba. Chisa mbama chisa. Chinja. Maitira kwayo. Osoko. Baba Matimba. Karigirai wanu wanakirwe mechiwa lita mukuimba.
Ona kumakumoko kune nyaya chenjera kumakumo kune nyaya chenjera kumakumoko kune nyaya chenjera kumakumo kune nyaya chenjera kumakumo iwe kune nyaya chenjera kumakumo kune nyaya yona iwe kumakumo kune nyaya chenjera
Mbama chisa. Chinja. Waitire nyayo. Kukula. Izenzo zako. Machinja oye. MTC oye. Osoko. Changirai oye. Changirai hoye! Mwonzora hoye! Kozoko. I'm sorry utungamiri wese uri pano. Regai nditi international observers edu that they are okay for their own reasons, and we are enjoying seeing people from that angle. Ndigati shakanakai so long dana kupaye pekugara pakanaka, because I know we are used to standing and observing. Regati fambirane pamberne program yedu ndechidedza our DSG kuti vaite take over vafambirane neprogram yedu, fambirane program yedu sorabas. Thank you so much.
Chinja Maitiro Hezoko Chisa MTC Chisa Mwonzora Chisa Mwonzora Chisa MTC Chisa Maspacha Zedu Hezoko Makadi MTC. Pamsorei Mr. President, Mr. Douglas Togarase Mwonzora, mutevedzeri wenyu vekutanga vasiri pano, Mr. Chief Lovu, mutevedzeri wenyu wechipiri vari pano, Mai Mpariwa, Mr. Chairman Solomon Chikowero, Mr. Sox, nemutevedzeri wenyu Miss Vovo Yvonne Musaruru, Mr. SG, and the whole of the standing committee here present today. All our international visitors here with us today in this room, we welcome you. Most importantly, let me welcome the MDC family, our members of the structures. Andichakushevedzei nemazita asi regai nditi mose mauya nemachairpersons ose, the national executive, provincial leadership, district structures and ward structures. Let me not forget our employees who also work day and night to make these things happen. The members of the fourth estate, the media, you are welcome. This is the house or the citadel of democracy. The HH formerly, but now called the Morgan Tsvangirai House, the House of Democracy. We welcome you to this house today. First of all, let me apologize for having this event today, and we believe that it's a bit late. We were supposed to have launched our manifesto some 4 to 5 weeks ago in the month of June, last month. But because we were hoping, or in solidarity with our MDC HS7, those MPs who were not confirmed, who are still hanging in the air because they were denied their payment for their nomination fees by ZEC, we believe that we wanted to launch this event or our MDC manifesto whilst these 87 are busy campaigning on the ground, or whilst their spirits are high, knowing very well that they will be campaigning and campaigning for a win. But unfortunately, the case is still in the courts, not yet finalized. Let me say that we are very sad because we made our appeal to the High Court on the 23rd of June. But if you count the days, today is now the 31st of July. Not to say we have got more than a month before our case, our MDC 87, the case is yet to be finalized. There are other cases that came after us, the Kasukweres and others. They were finalized. Ours is still hanging. And there's a big question, why is ours still hanging in the courts today? And I believe Mr. President will actually highlight more on this. My role, Mr. President, is just to welcome everyone to this event. Why are we here today? This is not a campaign launch, but a manifesto launch. Our manifesto has a very good name. It's coined a working economy for the people. The MDC was formed for the people. For the poor people, the vulnerable, and the downtrodden. Vanoshewa Mabas, the vendors, the elderly, the children. The MDC was formed to cater for them. And here today we are going to launch a manifesto that speaks a language that the poor, Zimbabweans, women, children, the disabled, the vulnerable understands. It speaks to the economy that works for the poorest of this country. It speaks to the people who have no food today. It speaks to the people who are unemployed today. This is our manifesto. This is the MDC manifesto. A working economy for the people. That's what we are here for today, Mr. President. Let me take this opportunity, Mr. President, to welcome everyone who is here today, such that the event may start. As I said earlier, that this is the house, the center of democracy, where when people are singing, the spirits are heightened, the spirits are invoked. Mr. President, let me take this opportunity to call upon the Secretary General of the MDC, Mr. Dr. Tapiwa, I wanted to call it Dr. Tapiwa Majimarefu Mashakada, to give us a summary of our manifesto coined a working economy for the people. He will give us a summary of it, and I believe that most of the people in here will have copies at some point. Dr. Mashakada say, may you please feed the MDC family with the document or the food that they want to eat this afternoon. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Msevenzi, our Master of Ceremony, for kickstarting our manifesto launch. Chinja, Maitiro, Chinja, Dagi Dagi, Kwese Kwese, Kwese Kwese, Dagi Dagi, Ndao Ilonge, Ndao Ndao, Chinja, Longe Ndao, Dagi Dagi, tofana kuzama languages ese. Anditika. Thank you very much, MDC family. I wish to start by acknowledging our President of the Movement for Democratic Change, His Excellency Douglas Togarase Mwonzora, and his two deputies. I wish to acknowledge the chairmanship of the party here present, the secretariat, and all standing committee members here present. Ladies and gentlemen, I also wish to acknowledge the presence of our diplomats from the European Union. I also want to acknowledge the 40 states here present. Today is our special day, MDC family. We are proud to unveil our blueprint, which will help us to govern Zimbabwe. This is what we call a manifesto, which is dubbed a working economy for the people. We are a serious party. We have got policies, we have got plans, we have got alternatives to govern this country properly. You know, the economy has been run down. The economy is sick. The people do not have jobs. Poverty is endemic in society. Our infrastructure is decadent. The social fabric is broken. Students are suffering. The informal sector is not doing well. Zimbabwe needs a new start under President Mwonzora. And that new start is going to be brought by the MDC on the 23rd of August. Before I walk with you the nitty-gritties of our manifestos, or the main pillars of our manifestos, I want to state that to define who we are as an organization. Who is the MDC? Because you've got to understand that MDC is not ZANU-PF. MDC is not Triple C. We are a sui generis party with our own identity. So MDC is a social democratic party. That is our ideology. We always side with the poor. We always side with the working people. We always side with the marginalized people. We always side with the vulnerable people. We side with youth, we side with women, and we side with people living with disabilities. That is our character as a social democratic party. We have got key values which we will not compromise on. The first value is that we say zero tolerance to corruption. We believe in social justice. We believe in equality. We believe in freedom. We believe in democracy. We believe in justice. So these are some of the fundamental values that we espouse as a social democratic party. So our manifesto is anchored on these social democratic values, which will help to develop Zimbabwe from where it is to a modern industrialized state. A country is not governed by slogans. I see Triple C is good at sloganeering. I see ZANU-PF, they are dwelling on slogans in the past. ZANU-PF will tell you that we built a dam, a borehole, and so on. But Zimbabweans want to know the future, their future. Where are we in the next 5 to 10 years? And this is what the MDC is going to give you. So we are a party which is driven by policies, not by slogans. The first order of business, ladies and gentlemen, is that an MDC government will be governed by constitutionalism and the rule of law. Without the rule of law, without constitutionalism, we are not going anywhere as a country. So we must have the rule of law. No one is above the law, no one is below the law. At present, you see big chefs who commit corruption crimes, they are arrested and they are released. We call it catch and release because our country has no rule of law. We don't abide with the constitution. So our first order of business is the rule of law and constitutionalism as a government of the people. We are going also to streamline our government. In our MDC plans, our government will only have 15 cabinet ministers. Not 30, not 40, and so on, because that drains state resources. We'll have 15 cabinet ministers. So it will be an efficient, lean cabinet to drive the economy through. Now I come to the critical areas that our manifesto covers. The first part is the economy. By the way, we'll give you this beautiful document after the president has launched it. On the economy, the fundamental thing is to ensure macroeconomic stability. By macroeconomic stability, we mean that the economy must have low inflation, which will lead to low prices in the economy. So it will be a stable economy where prices do not change every day. If you go to the supermarket today, you find that the prices change every day and they are too high. So there is no macroeconomic stability. So in our planning and manifesto, we will ensure that we've got stable prices and low inflation as a key macroeconomic variable. The second thing linked to macroeconomic stability is the currency. The MDC is unequivocal, is unambiguous, that within the first 100 days of our government, will return the United States dollar. Why are we going to reintroduce the dollar? It will give us time to plan and strengthen our currency, because our currency has been weakened. It has no value. So we are going to anchor our economy during the first 100 days on the US dollar. This is not the first time we've done this. We did this during the inclusive government. When we reintroduced the Zimbabwean dollar, we found prices coming down, dollar for $2, everyone enjoying their work, everyone enjoying their economy and their livelihoods and their businesses. So it is important to retain the United States dollar. Because in economics, where you have got two currencies, a weaker currency and a stronger currency, people will prefer a stronger currency than the weaker currency. This is why you see the economy is dollarized. If you go to the petrol station, you have to produce United States dollars to buy fuel. If you go to the vegetable market, you have to produce $1 to buy vegetables and tomatoes. School fees are now pegged in US dollars. Exam fees are now pegged in US dollars. Everything that we buy is US dollars. So it makes sense to adopt the US dollar as an anchor, because the market has preferred the US dollar. The market has rejected the local currency because it has no value. It is backed by nothing. They just print papers and say, call it money. So we want real money. That's why we are going to introduce the US dollar as part of our macroeconomic reforms. I come to trade. Well, before I come to trade, for there to be low inflation and stability of the exchange rate, we have to produce. There has to be production in industry. We have to reopen all closed factories so that we kickstart growth in manufacturing, in mining, in tourism, in construction, in all other main sectors of the economy. So growth will also be one of the key issues under macroeconomic stability. I come to trade. Zimbabwe will have to join the family of nations. So our theme is that we need regional integration. Regional integration means that we can sell our goods and services to other countries, to Mozambique, to Zambia, and other countries, the EU, America, Asia. So we must integrate our economies through trade with other countries. You know, Africa has got what we call the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is the bloc, a trading bloc of all African countries called the African Continental Free Trade Area. We have to take our place in the African Continental Free Trade Area as a country which exports goods and imports goods. But in order for us to trade with other countries, ladies and gentlemen, we need to industrialize. Because for you to trade, you need to have the products which you add value and sell to other countries. So we don't want to be a dumping ground we must reindustrialize so that we can manufacture and export our goods and services to the African Continental Free Trade Area. On infrastructure, MDC believes in modern infrastructure. That as a result, we need a robust housing plan to deliver 1 million houses to all citizens in the first 5 years. We need good roads and road infrastructure. We need new energy systems for the country, especially urban roads. Our urban roads have been neglected. So, an MDC government will prioritize development of urban roads first. I come to ICTs. MDC is not backward. It's a party which believes in information communication technology. So we are going to introduce a digital economy. Everything that you do will be digital. If you want to sell your tomatoes, it will be digital. You need a platform to sell your potatoes digitally. So we are going to promote science and technology, mathematics, digitalization of the economy. I come to a very popular topic, climate change. You know, climate change is now a reality. If you look at the economy of the world over, either you've got extreme drought, or you've got floods, you've got heat, you've got cold temperatures. So, this variability of climate is what we call climate change. What is our position as MDC? Our position is that we must move the economy from fossils to green or clean energy. I see the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Climate Change is nodding here. That's a program. We need to transit our economy to an energy transition where you've got solar-powered energy, wind-powered, and other clean energies. That's where the world is going. The world is not going back to fossils. Mind you, China is the largest polluter, followed by the United States. So our position is that these countries which are polluting the globe must pay us, must pay developing countries, so that we can introduce our own energy, renewable energy programs. The polluter must pay principle is what we are following as a country. I come to corruption, Mr. President. In my initial remarks, I said MDC will have zero tolerance on corruption. Everyone who steals will go to jail. But we will follow due process. We will not just catch you and throw you behind the bars. We will follow due process. You have to appear before a competent court of law before your verdict is pronounced. I come to education. Our policy on education is very clear. Free education. Free education. That is free primary education, free secondary education to start with. We don't want to burden our parents paying school fees when the government can do something. I'll tell you where that money will come from. So we'll have free education. And we'll also introduce government grants for students who are learning in tertiary institutions. When we went to the university, our parents did not pay any fees. You were given a government grant which we were going to repay when you got employment. So we must go back to that old system. That's what we are going to do in education. And our education should be quality education, industry-oriented, not just education for education's sake. It must be practical, vocational, and industry-oriented. We are going to create a skills hub where Zimbabwe can export skills officially to other countries which do not have skills. through our education system. I've already talked about energy, so I'll skip our energy program. Safe to say that rural electrification will be important. There's a tendency to concentrate on urban areas in the provision of electricity, but we are also going to cater for rural communities. I come to health services, MDC family. On health services, we must have people accessing health facilities for free. Drugs, consultation for free. The money will be there. As I've said, I've dedicated a section on where the money will come from. But most importantly, we will establish a national health system, NHS system, which is like UNASA, where every employer and employee will contribute, so that with the national health system, everyone can get free treatment. That's what they are doing in most developed countries. You have a robust national healthcare system. So you have free health with good equipment and drugs. On home affairs, we need to professionalize the police, the army, the Central Intelligence Organization. Right now, they could be, or they are used sometimes as an extension of ZANU-PF. You cannot distinguish between a policeman and a ZANU-PF activist. So that has to stop under an MDC government. We need professional uniformed forces who are well remunerated, with good cantonments, good uniforms, and good barracks. So that is an MDC policy on home affairs. But under home affairs also, there's an important department called the Civil Registry Department. Those who issue IDs and birth certificates and passports. We want to decentralize these services at ward level. A person must get a birth certificate at ward level, at district level. And once a child is born, they must have a number which will entitle them to a passport and a birth certificate and a national ID on paper. I come to the informal sector. The informal sector is now a source of employment. It is there to stay. Where we can formalize the informal sector, we'll do that. But what's important is to support the informal sector, protect them, modernize them, and give them financial support, and provide markets and infrastructure for them to do their business and livelihoods. That's entrepreneurship. So MDC will support entrepreneurship by the informal sector, including cross-border traders. They will be supported under an MDC government. I come to international relations. We know we've been isolated for this long, more than 20 years. Isolated, of course, under sanctions as well. So the NMDC government will make sure that sanctions are removed, so that we can be able to integrate ourselves in the community of nations. And we are going to be friends to all countries. We are not going to look east, west, south, north. We will look everywhere where we have got friends, so that we can get investment. We don't choose our friends. We want investment, we want capital, so we'll be friendly to all nations, on condition that our national interests are protected, our national interests are guaranteed. That's the only caveat. Provided our national interests are guaranteed, we will be friends to everybody. We will be friends to the IMF, to the World Bank, to all international institutions, provided our national interests are secured. I come to labor. Mr. President, MDC is a labor-backed party. We came from trade unions. I'm a trade unionist, as you see me here, and others. So our most important thing is to fight labor market flexibility. Labor market flexibility means an employer can hire and fire willingly without due regard to the contract of employment. An employer can retrench an employee or cut wages for an employee randomly. That is labor market flexibility. That's a neoclassical ideology. But we as a labor-based party, we believe in labor negotiations, collective bargaining, where labor rights are protected, a decent wage is given to private sector workers and public sector workers. And this wage will be denominated in US dollars. There will be equal pay for equal work. Whether you are a female or a male, if you are doing the same job, equal work, equal pay. And our workers who go on maternity will be paid 100% on maternity. And we are also going to introduce paternity leave for fathers to be with their wives and children. Because you can't just let your wife go on paternity and you are not with her. You have to support her. MDC feminized those people living with disabilities and the pensioners. They will be protected. This is that the land reform program is irreversible. It is irreversible. However, we must ensure that that land that was taken is productive. If you don't use that land productively, it will be taken by the MDC government. If you have got multiple farms, 3, 4, 5 farms, MDC will take the rest and leave you with one farm. And reallocate to those who can farm, especially graduates from agricultural colleges placed on the farms. We'll give them compensation, fair compensation. Because it is in the Constitution. It's not anything new. It's already in the Constitution. So we'll give them fair compensation. And most importantly, those who will be on the land should get title deeds for their land. If you have got a farm and you don't have a title deed, you can't borrow, you can't mechanize, you can't develop, because our business, ladies and gentlemen, it's not for everybody. So those who choose farming need collateral, and they need to use the title deed to get collateral from institutions. That's our policy on land and Zimbabwe, 10 provinces. Civilization of things failed in Midlands, in Masvingo, in Cholocho, in Binga, everywhere. Devolution is important. Although devolution is in the Constitution, why is it not happening? It is because the ZANU-PF government has not put in place a law or legislation for devolution. So an MDC government will straight away put a law on devolution, a regulation on devolution, so that we walk the talk. I come to mining. Ladies and gentlemen, under ZANU-PF, our minerals are being plundered by Chinese and other multinational companies. And MDC government will make sure that Zimbabweans benefit from mineral resources. The communities in those areas where there are minerals must show a difference. If you come to Marange, you must be different from a person coming from Seke. Because the Marange resources should upgrade your villages, your schools, your clinics, your roads. And Right now, if you go to Marange, people are suffering. And we've got mining companies. So MDC government will put a law which says that mines or mining houses must develop their own communities. They must employ local people. They must look after the environment. And they must beneficiate the minerals rather than export them in their raw form. Because if you export minerals in their raw form, we are exporting labor. So that is our position. We want to call for responsible mining as an MDC government. Yes. I come to national debt. Zimbabwe's debt is about 18 billion US dollars. Did you know that? 18 billion US dollars. It's a lot of money. Our position is that we will engage all the people whom we call international creditors and ask for debt forgiveness and also rescheduling of the payments. Those no chokwa to concentrate on 18 billion, we won't develop the country. We own our debts, but we want to negotiate terms of repayment. I come to national healing. National healing is very important. Our country has gone through a checkered past. So we need dialogue, inclusive dialogue, national healing, and national reconciliation. Yes. But that can only happen if there is truth. Perpetrators must be held to account for their sins. Yes. We need truth-telling, and perpetrators must be brought to book. Without that, there's no national healing. Yes, that's true. That's what we call transitional justice. Yes. And those who were victimized must be compensated. Yes. Like my sister there. 15 men. She was raped by 15 men. So she has to be compensated under national healing. I come to the diaspora. I'm winding up. The diaspora under an MDC government should be given the right to vote. They must be given the right to vote and also a role to play in the economy. We'll give them tailor-made schemes as diasporans to develop the economy, to participate in economic opportunities and investment programs. We've got over 1 million Zimbabweans in the diaspora. And those people can develop this country even without the government budget. Yes. There are countries in Africa whose growth and development is driven by the diaspora. If you look at Comoros, the Comoros is just a small island. The country is big and growing because of the diasporans. If you look at a small country called Djibouti, in the north there, it's driven by diasporans. Ethiopia itself is driven by diasporans. Ghana, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, just to name a few. Jamaica, those countries are driven by diasporans who return the money, who invest the money back. Right now, diasporans are remitting $1 billion a year, US dollars to Zimbabwe. The money you receive through, what do you call it, Mukuru, remit and so on, $1 billion is coming from the diaspora. So they can develop our economy if we give them their rights as well as citizens. Under an MDC government, dual citizenship will be implemented. So you can choose, if you are living in South Africa, you can have a South African passport, but still your Zimbabwean passport, you still remain a Zimbabwean. Yes. I come to tourism. Zimbabwe must be a tourist destination standard so that we can attract more tourists to come to our country. But tourists come to a country which is stable, where there is security of the person, and where there is good infrastructure. So we'll attend to those things so that we've got tourists coming into the country. And of course, our airlines have to be improved so that tourists can come here, access easily. And our borders must be friendly. We must introduce one-stop border posts so that tourists are not delayed at the borders. MDC, I come to traditional leaders. MDC respects traditional leaders. We'll give them their roles, but they must be apolitical. All traditional leaders must be apolitical. And we'll sort that out as an MDC government. On war veterans, MDC respects fighters of the 1970s War of Liberation. They have been neglected, they have been forgotten under ZANU-PF government. We will make sure that they have got education, or their children or grandchildren have got education, they have got free health, they have got good pension rights, starting projects as war veterans' families, including their collaborators. But the war veterans are not ZANU-PF war veterans.
Yes.
We must disabuse ourselves of the notion that war veterans are ZANU-PF. No. They fought for everybody to get free.
Yes.
So they must stop masquerading as ZANU-PF youths.
Yes.
They must be our national war veterans who are neutral and non-partisan. I come to women's rights and youth development. MDC government supports gender equality, gender development, or in gender development, gender budgeting, gender sensitive policies. We believe in youth development. Our youth are our future, our leaders today, not tomorrow. So youth have to be empowered so that they start their own startups and enterprises. Including people living with disabilities. Those are special people with special needs. They will be catered for under an MDC government. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a brief summation of the MDC manifesto. And now, lastly, where will that money come from? You will ask, you will be saying free this, free that. From growth. If you don't grow the cake, you don't have enough revenue to fund all these things I've been talking about. But if you grow the economy of the cake, you collect more revenues, more taxes, more customs duties to support your economy. Also, corruption, if you plug corruption, you can harvest a lot of money from corruption.
Yes.
I think Zimbabwe is losing over 10 billion a year to corruption through illicit trade, capital outflows, through transfer pricing and so on. So we can save by attacking or fighting corruption and get that money back to treasury. We can use our mineral resources to support our budget. Right now, the mining sector is not supporting the budget. So the money is there. We'll have investment coming into the country. The money is there. Yes, we can do it. Thank you very much, MDC family.
Thank you very much, Mr. SG. I think the articulation was very simple, touching on basic issues. The articulation yapinda mumbama ambuya sinoya muwadi 3 mulinga zuwa kumzarabana yapinda. The articulation yanopinda Kumalipati Primary School down there towards Limpopo. The articulation was so good that yapinda mu office ma headmaster kuchapua secondary school kwa Mutasa. This was so excellent, touching on basic issues. The language was very simple. Zvekuti yanga ichinzwikwa ma age groups ese ndizvoka. Mr. President, thank you very much, Dr. Mashakada. Mr. President, ndanzwane makuwa kuti your party, the MTC that you are leading, is the only party that is and has launched a manifesto for the 2023 national election. I was following you one day, radio, TV, yeah, on ZTN. You were asked a question by your host. Muchatipa manifesto yenyurini. You said next week, which is this week. Vamwe vakabvunzwa nditone mazita. Zvikanzi ko yenyu manifesto. Zvikanzi BCA we are not giving anyone a manifesto. Our manifesto is in your eyes. Hanzi mukaenda pambudzi mukatarisa so, that's our manifesto. Mukatarisa Masvingo Road maona manifesto yedu. Right? Mr. President, let me take this opportunity to say, may the soul of the people who lost their lives yesterday because of a bad road linking Lupane and Inkai, right? Rest in peace. It's so bad, but on our national map it says it is done. But who were being buzzed to a particular rally. For them, and the Rumasomenu, Jamaona Shataita, no manifesto. A serious party writes its manifesto. A serious party documents what it wants to achieve. A serious party documents what it wants to do for its own people. They put the manifesto ikagara musoro mako ko vauya vanoona chii ko vari kufuranidzira vanoverenga chii. That's how good your MTC is. Mr. SG, because Mataurisa, and Saguti Sumukai, let me do this on your behalf. Let me take this opportunity to invite our Vice President, Miss Paulina Mpariwa, to have a word.
Chisa MTC, Chisa Mwonzora, Chisa Matimai woye, Mayuti woye, Manababa woye, Yeshoko Mashita. Honorable President and the entire Presidium here present, all members of the Standing Committee here present, National Executive members here present, all our structures in this room, members of the 4th Estate, and thank you very much for coming in a very huge number. Our international guests here present. Mr. President, I am here to acknowledge the launch and appreciation of the contents of the manifesto. During our heydays in the labor movement, I come from the labor movement, and at the formation in 1999, The issues contained in this manifesto are the issues that we were fighting for. Way back in 96, 97, 98, 99. I say yes, we do believe that this is the People's Manifesto. I say, Honorable President, yes, this is the social agenda for the people of Zimbabwe. Mr. President, I say this manifesto contains the poor agenda of the people of Zimbabwe. Yes. This manifesto, Mr. President, contains majority of the issues which we call pro-labor issues for the workers of Zimbabwe, for the working class. I want to thank Dr. Mashakada, our Secretary General, Honorable Mashakada, for having gone through this manifesto block by block so that we sell together. I don't want to take much of your time, Honorable President, because this is your occasion. Let me begin by, as I introduce the President, that we are here to witness the launch of the MDCT manifesto, which other parties have never done. We are the first in history in 2023. We are here gathered to witness and see a lawyer, a very professional lawyer, very competent, a former trade unionist, co-chair of the COPAC during the constitutional making process in 2013. One who believes in democracy. One who, when you tell to say, we have to hold a Congress so that we elect our leadership, he follows and does so. One who listens to the people. We are always complaining. I think, Mr. President, you hear to this. When you get there, his door is open for everybody to talk to him and to see him. He never says it's too late and I'm up at lunch. He has an open door policy. We are here to witness a member of parliament who has been in the Senate from 2018 and is leader of the opposition at parliament. Mr. President, you have done a lot of work through your parliamentary responsibilities, where the bills that came in parliament, you would actually make the oversight road very difficult for us in the National Assembly. Because I tell you what, most of my bills are not what I have to go. Honorable Mwonzora, the marriage bill, for example, it came back because of his input. It is so Tangaram Mwonzora. So I want to acknowledge and introduce to you Mr. Honorable Douglas Mwonzora, who is the president of the Movement for Democratic Change, MDCT.
Mwonzora wacho.